What's up, aka Patters? It's September 11th, and here we go. Heroes. The comic book industry got together for a tribute. It's one of the greatest comic book achievements of all time. Let's get into it. What is up, my AK Patters? I had to turn the camera just a little bit, so I'm a little bit more lit up. As you guys can see, it's a beautiful, bright day here in Philadelphia, PA. Peter A. DeLuca here, aka Pad, and say it with me, known through Philadelphia, Europe, and the vast multiverse as your eclectic one. Okay. I'm upset. I am P-I-S-S-E-D. I'm pissed. I'm pissed off. I'm angry. Ugh. Okay. I withheld doing anything with this comic book. With this, it's more like a magazine, but it's filled with comic book talent. The best of the best of the best. But I, for the longest time, withdrew my impulse of really highlighting this and showing it to all of you because I have issues with September 11 hitting and then highlighting a September 11 piece because I just don't want to go there, and I'd rather have this channel be about other things rather than easy clickbait. I know I get it, some of my titles and thumbnails are easy clickbait, but hopefully you guys follow some of that logic. Where I'm upset is I feel like those who worked on this, the individuals who participated in Heroes, the 9/11 tribute. Those who participated and the company. I mean, this is essentially a Marvel comic book. Where's the Marvel? Right there. Right there. Hello, Marvel. No one is putting this out there right now. I went through a lot of accounts, a lot of Twitter, a lot of Instagram, a lot of Facebook. I researched this pretty well before stepping in front of all of you, and I'm befuddled that none of the talents involved with this book. I mean, there have been a few, but it's not even worth mentioning. But why? Why has the comic book industry turned its back on 9/11? That's really how I feel right now. I want to show you guys one of the greatest collaborative efforts the comic book industry ever participated in. It comes off as true, rich, selfless, angry, and progressive. Yes, progressive, meaning we are progressing past the tragedy of 9/11. We're still trying to crystallize it in our minds. We're trying to understand what really happened and why. And even though we can't, there are so many unanswered questions about that day. People, this is an industry, this is a nation, this is a country mourning, and the comic book industry stepped up for this. I don't know why they're ignoring it. I don't know why they turned their back on this piece. I would put this up there with one of the greatest collaborative comic book efforts ever. Sorry for those of you hoping Image United gets finished. Let's hit the drawing table and have a look at Heroes, brought to you by the entire comic book industry. Let's go. Here it is, aka Patters. Before we do a deep dive into Heroes, the world's greatest superhero creators honor the world's greatest heroes. 9/11 2001. Only trust comic book reviewers, commentators, and discussioners that have a Crypt action figure ready to go at their drawing table. Let's flip this over. Here we go. These are like collaborations we thought we would never see, and we want to see more of. Joe Quesada, Tom McFarlane, Richard Eisenold, and Kevin Smith right here. Kevin Smith writing a poem. This image alone really tells you. We know Quesada is a New Yorker. We know how much he loves that city. Tom McFarlane being a Canadian. I believe Richard Eisenold potentially also is Canadian. We don't care about that, but this image alone, I mean, it can be a photograph, it could be anything. This sticks with you. Like you move on with your day, and this image stays in your mind's eye. including the works by Neil Adams, Kurt Busiek, J. Scott Campbell, John Cassidy, Alan Davis, Paul Dini, Evan Dorkin, Neil Gaiman, Dave Gibbons, Sam Keith, Adam Kubert, Joe Kubert, Salvador LaRocca, Jim Lee, Jay Lee, Stan Lee, all the Lees, Tom McFarlane, Frank Miller, Alan Moore, George Perez, Paul Pope, Joe Quesada, Roberto Ramos, Alex Ross, Steve Rude, Kevin Smith. And speaking of Alex Ross, our boy here has the cover. I will also say, based on what we know about Alex Ross, and you guys know I'm a big Alex Ross lover, he also is a part of this typeface. He's also part of this design. He knows how to present his artwork in the absolute most effective way. For opening table of contents, we have Sam Keith, fireman's helmet, and a note from Joe Quesada. What happened on September 11, 2001 was not God's will. God's will was in the courage of every man, woman, and child who stood up and came to the aid of fellow humans. God's will was in the strength that was shown in the face of great tragedy and the desire displayed to rebuild, to move, and to do so with love. What you hold in your hands was created with love, and love will prevail. God will. Sorry, guys. I butchered that. We do have to, look, guys, we do it on this channel. We do have to address Joe Quesada has aided in a lot of hate towards other comic book creators because of perceived ideologies. I would say this is very hypocritical to the Joe Quesada. Later, look at this piece by George Perez. Again, George Perez, a fantastic designer. His illustrations only aid in how well of a design eye he has. This always got me, just the way how the two towers and the smoke just hits the stars of the American flag. The candle vigil. We got Alan Davis, Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer is a great compliment to the tragedy of 9/11 because, Silver Surfer has there's so much internal dialogue, especially with on the Stan Lee days. We know Silver Surfer will contemplate 9/11 deeply. Kubert, Joe Kubert here. Let's see, and we have Lee Ferguson doing the NYPD fireman. Mike Donato Jr. here. I always like this one. This is very typical, just as of getting the idea out there, but it is effective and it's all we need to see. Sal Voluto, this one's fantastic. The kids just watching the smoke come up from the rubble. Frank Miller, people, this is one of my favorite Frank Miller pieces, period. The holes in the shield, the way how he drew Captain America here, we get the idea. The nation took a hit. Faces of America, a more perfect union production. Liberty Carries On presents Faces of America. I do like some of the coloring for this, because it's almost just quickly brushed. Nice stuff. This one's phenomenal. I mean, these two, I'm sorry. I always think this is one piece, and it's actually two. I know one of these is Ginha, and then the other one might be, let's see here. Nelson with Hi-Fi, Frank Quietly. This should be the Frank Quietly piece. Look at that smoke, though. Jeez. So well rendered. People, this is Rubble 101, but again, iconic images for both. Right, this is not Whistler's Daughter. I forget the name of that painting. This is great, too. The kids in school watching it on TV. Look at the stand that the TV's on. I mean, we know that they wheeled this in, plugged it in, and this came from some piece of crap faculty storage from that school. It fits it perfectly. This one's great too. Salvador LaRocca, or no, Carlos Pacello. Carlos Pacello here. Sorry, it's the faces. Yeah, he must have been working on Avengers forever. Richard Corbin here. Look at this one. Corbin coming in hot. Dane Jurgens. I believe Dane Jurgens, who might have been on Captain America at this time. It really was. It was like just the idea of the people that went into those buildings. This one here, right? Ramita being right on the money. Mother-daughter waiting for the phone to ring. And we know her husband, the kid's father, is there or was there. Now, I want to get this one right. Dane Jurgens, Corbin. Oh, Igor Cordy. Igor, people forget, dude. Igor Cable, Soldier X. Look up his Soldier X. That work is fantastic. I always think this is Gene Hall. This is the image. I swear to God, this is this might be the most powerful one in this entire book. But dude, we have the hijackers. We have the flight 87, I believe. People rebelling. People fighting to survive. Knowing what their fate is. Powerful. This one's great though. Brian Stilfreeze. This one's nice. Love the coloring for this. I mean, I think if you're jaded, you might look at some of these and you just might be like, it's too on the money. But it's not, cause what's happening is being communicated to us. Like the real, like what we perceive as superheroes, these guys are frozen. And it's time for everyone else to step up. Yeah, there is almost like a real world crossover. There you go, the EMTs. This one's nice too. Oh, this is Kerry Andrews. Holy dude, Kerry Andrews has so many different styles. You know, his career, if you look at his career, the dude doesn't have the same style for more than 2-3 months. J. Scott Campbell here. Tim Bradstreet. Yeah, I mean, look, J. Scott. This is his forte, celebratory. Yeah, like if you're expecting every one of these pieces to be deep, you're missing the point. This one's fantastic. This Jim Lee one. And who's counter to Jim Lee? The way how they laid this out too is it's smart and it's artful. John Stanzinski. This is, I mean, like they make some of these pieces complement each other, but this Jim Lee one is there. Again, this is the stories that we heard. This is what we would imagine. Look at the Hildenbrand brothers. And who's opposite? Doug Wheatley. Joe Quesada. Look, Paul Dini here with the whole piece. With Simonson. The Herberto Ramos one is nice. Now we have these. I don't know, like, look, we have David Mack. Jeez, the David Mack. There's just so much here. And people, forgive me, it's been a while since I went through this. Lungs, eyes, heart, brain, ears. Listen for cries of help. Arms carry people to safety. Diagram of heroes. And then we have, I believe these were non-bound. Oh yeah, they're pages that came out. Bigger look at the, larger look at the Quesada McFarlane. And here we have Neil Adams. Jeez, like, that's what I mean. Like, sometimes when, look, Giuliani, sometimes this, South Tower, right? Number 2 to get hit. But like, how stark is this? It's almost like too accurate. It's too good. And then this one definitely looks like Dave Gibbons. Hey bud, you making noise? Sorry everyone, you guys may have heard Dallas making some noise, making some trouble. I absolutely love this Roberto Ramos piece. This one completely escaped my mind, but holy crap, look at the rendering for the smoke right here. This is so good. The rubble that crashed over street lights. Like I said, I'm re-educating myself on some of these. This one's great. I almost want to say this is pastel. So who did Joe Quesada, David Mack, Dave Gibbons. Oh, Dave Gibbons with text by Alan Moore, Neil Ross, Alex Ross, Roberto Ramos, Chris Cross, text by Jim Shooter, Steve Rude. This is Steve Rude. Yeah, you can tell by the faces. I should have got that. And who's after Steve Rude? Tom Derek. So Tom here, I believe, was on a... Don't hold me, but I want to say he was on the run of covers at this time. He might have been doing She-Hulk covers. Or that was maybe Dan Slott. Kevin Nolan, the master of light. Like, even that. So he puts that silhouette right, I mean, no detail. And it just moves. You get the movement of the panel. Tom Rainey. Wow. This is one of Tom Rainey's way better pieces. I can always usually pick him out by some of the line work and faces. This just does not look like Tom Rainey at all. Salvador LaRocca here. Working in Salvador being on, we just spoke about this on one of the Chris Claremont videos. He's got the cast of Extreme X-Men here. Again, too, like, that's fine. You know, like, you might say, like, why do that? Like, that's that's promotion. That's disingenuous. I get that, but at the same time, you have to understand how much, like, in the head you are of these characters that you have to sit down and draw. And he was on Extreme X-Men for at least 2 years. You know, you're thinking and you're breathing. You're living with your characters when you're on a monthly book and a monthly grind like that. I'm fine with it. Who was after Salvador? Oh yeah, with Chris Claremont, Alberto Persolini right here. Really nice, really nice. Jeez, I forgot about Joe Madora. Perfect and simple. Amazing negative space. These birds work so well. These doves. That dog's incredible. Dog's got a Spider-Man keychain. And who's opposite of Evan Dorkin? Here's the Evan Dorkin. People, I don't like Evan Dorkin's social media presence. I think he goes after too many people. And he's a little bit whiny. But this one's incredible. Bill Zekowitz. I'm all in on this one too. Who's the Tom Palmer opposite of Zekowitz? Tom Palmer. Look at this. Bring this back. This should upset you for today. Because why is this not... If Marvel has access to this level of talent, why didn't we see more of it? Jay Lee and Mark Bagley. Jay Lee's good too. Not crazy over the coloring for this, but this one's great. See, again, they're very intelligent with how they're laying this out. Like, we almost have like two kind of like face forward twin shots here. No camera rotation, no heavy rendering. Got Stan Lee here. This looks like, oh jeez, what's his name? From Stray Bullets. Michael A. Von Oeming. Jeez. Perfectly framed too. And this, look at this file cabinet just falling with the papers. That's awesome. Kyle Hotz. Kyle Hotz. Well, yeah, I know him from Malibu Room. Maybe I don't think he worked on. I'm thinking of Edward Russo. Look at this one. Look at this Sean Chen one here. Who's opposite of Sean Chen? John Cassidy. This is great too. Just the motion of this. The other firefighter pointing in the opposite direction too. Just again, it's like the idea of absolute chaos. You can't. Everyone's trying to be at 2-3 places at once. Paul Pope, Mike McCone. Like I said, dude, there's nothing about being on the money, because you do feel the pain in some of these. I mean, this Paul Pope one. If you don't, who are you if you don't feel the pain in this? I'm curious about who's holding the flag though, because they look like that they're Middle Eastern. Here we go. We've been talking a lot about him recently. Dale Keown. The strongest one there is. Yeah. Be on the money if this is the message you're going to send. Be on the money. Who's opposite? George Gently. Not familiar with his career. Jeez. I will be looking him up. Not crazy for the color holds of the pigeons here, or the doves, but I get it. Kubert. And then we have Phil Hester. Yeah, very graphical. Kubert one too. Kubert was he was doing a lot of penciled work at this time too. He did do a whole like issues or flashbacks of X-Men where he drew on cardboard or brown paper bags. He was very into his pencil line work then. Mike Allard. Who's opposite of Mike Allard? Stuart Immerman. Stuart too really became a staple at Marvel around this time. I love this one though. I don't know why. It's so meta. Stan Lee giving blood with the entire world behind him. Because everyone's right. You know? It's so meta. Because technically this book is like Marvel and everyone else giving blood back. Gail Simone. I don't know, people. I don't know. I don't want to say, like, that kind of gets to me. It really does, just going through that. Alright, AKAPADers, look, before we wrap this up, subscribe, support, leave a comment. These are the free things you can do to promote AKAPAD, your boy here, and the AKAPAD Army. I was just watching someone's live stream, because, you know, we play those things at the drawing table. And they were saying that comic book channels and comic book review content gets nowhere. It gets zero anything. People, I agree. But guess what? I'm a compulsive maniac. That's right. When I lock my teeth onto something, I do not let go. I am a pit bull. And I do believe we're adding to larger conversations, larger ideas. We're asking questions that the comic book journalist community, comic book journos, have ignored for decades. People, we've done this with Rob Liefeld, with Jim Lee. We're going to go, Tom McFarlane, we're going to go down a very vast list of a lot of these questions, a lot of these claims are just blank and unsubstantiated. Can I say that word? And I do feel like ignoring heroes, it's equal to that. And it happened in real time, and people completely forget about this. It's like I said it before, I'm befuddled that this is ignored. I don't understand why. AKAPAD here, signing out. Let's just do more. We got a lot of videos. At this point, I have about 10 inventory episodes ready to go. We're finally back on track. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Subscribe, support, leave a comment, and always flex.